Good morning, evening, or afternoon to those watching us. Welcome to Born to be Reboot, the space where we talk about clever older siblings, the sandwich of the family, I mean the middle child, and the youngest children, who always steal the show. And of course, the only children who are the owner of his or her universe. Here we explore how your place in the family influences who you are and how you see the world. We really hope that you enjoy our podcast and it meets your expectations.
Get comfortable, because today you're sure to relate. Each of us was born into a different birth position within our respective families.
I am the firstborn.
I am the middle child.
And we are the youngest siblings.
In this podcast, we'll analyze a video from the renowned YouTube channel Brightside, which gives an objective opinion on how birth order can affect our behavior. Can you believe it? And we'll see how this combines with our personal experiences because let's be realistic, not everything that is said in the video can be applied to everyone. We all have our own experiences that may differ. So, with all of this clear in mind, let's get into it, darling.
Have you ever heard that the oldest child in a family tends to be very responsible, while children who have no siblings are far more likely to be selfish and demanding? Are these merely stereotypes, or is it really true? Today we've decided to find the answer to this intriguing question: how birth order can shape your personality. The birth order theory began in the 1920s with Alfred Adler, Sigmund Freud's friend and colleague. Adler believed that the order in which we were born into a family inherently affects your personality. Here is the theory. The firstborn child. According to Adler, the oldest child tends to be conservative, power-orientated, and predisposed towards leadership. They often take responsibility for their younger siblings. That's why firstborns grow up to be more caring, more willing to become parents, and more likely to take initiative.
I totally agree with the video. As an older brother, I always take care of my Emilita, and in decisions, she usually follows me. My parents are also more demanding with me than with my sister, so I am more self demanding. And sometimes, because of the support that I am to my sister, sometimes I feel like I am another dad to her.
The middle child. The older brother or sister is a pace setter for the second child. That's why they often struggle to surpass their older sibling. The pace of development is higher. The middle kids in a family often tend to be ambitious, but they are rarely selfish. They are also more likely to set unreasonably high goals for themselves. This increases the number of failures. However, knowing how to cope with difficulties in life is what makes them stronger.
As it is said in the video, as a middle child, I tend to try to be better than my older brother. And I am sure that I have had my share of failures. But that makes me try to keep trying in order to surpass myself and move forward. As for setting difficult goals, I think I have done it at least once. But I believe that this practice, as I said, helps me improve myself in order to face adversity.
The youngest child. As a rule, the youngest child gets a lot of care and attention from parents and even older siblings. That's why they may feel less experienced and independent. However, lastborns are usually highly motivated to surpass their older sisters and brothers. They achieve big success and earn recognition in their chosen field very often. They become the fastest athletes, the best musicians, and most talented artists. The youngest children in a family tend to be very sociable, though they're usually more irresponsible and frivolous than the older children.
Let's stop here. I totally agree with the part that says that the younger children are motivated to surpass the older ones because, in my case, it's something like that. I always seek to achieve what my brother couldn't and motivate him to achieve new things. I take into account the mistakes he made so as not to make them myself, but that the youngest child is the most talented, sociable, is not an established rule. At least I consider myself average. someone who doesn't really enjoy socializing that much. It's not my stuff, so yes, I think that's not an established rule. And other thing that I think it's not an established rule is that the younger one is considered the most pampered, the most irresponsible or frivolous compared to the older one because, at least in my case, I'm considered the mature child in my house. So, being the youngest doesn't immediately classify you as the pampered and irresponsible in the house. And one last thing that I can agree with is that the youngest is the one who receives more attention because that's how it was in my house when I was little, and even sometimes now, I'm the one who receives all the attention from my parents and my older brother.
Well, in my case, being the youngest is very different from what is mentioned in the video, since I am less sociable and quiet, unlike my older sister who is extrovert, but my personality is more similar to that of the middle brother, since I am more prone to set extremely high goals. I try to compete with my older siblings, and I also develop my more skills than them, such as in music and sport and more.
The only child. Without any siblings to compete with, the only child often competes with his or her father. Being overly pampered by their parents, the single child expects pampering and protection from everyone around too. Dependency and self-centeredness are the leading qualities of their lives. The only child often has difficulty interacting with peers. Many children who have no siblings become perfectionists, and they usually achieve their goals no matter what.
If we are honest, we don't really have any comments for only children, because none of us have had our own experience from which to speak. And it should be noted that if any only children is watching our podcast, nothing we say is intended to offend. We simply do not have any field experience on your topic.
So we will assume that what is found in the video may be correct.
But we believe or we assume that the experience as an only child can feel somewhat lonely because each of us has grown accustomed to live with siblings. Being alone as an only child will feel empty. There'd be no one to laugh with, to share guilt, to rely on, or something similar. Imagine not being able to gossip with anyone at home, or not being able to annoy someone. But, anyways, that's only our personal opinion. Who are we to judge?
And well, I think that everything that had to be said has already been said. And we are running out of time. So that's all for today. You know, older, middle aged, younger, or single, we've all got therapy material. We will see you next time. Bye. See you next time.